Assalamu alaikum. Where there is knowledge, there is Islam, real Islam. So we're trying to improve our knowledge by reading about the life of our Prophet, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Before I continue, I want to read a little bit from the book Ethics of Islam. The way guided by those blessed people, those that follow the other sunnat, should be learned by reading their books. Most Muslims have deviated from this way of salvation and became ahli bid'ah as a result of indulging in their sensuous desires, following their own reason, or being misguided by the scientific teachings of their time. Let us continue. Our Master, the Prophet, liked this tactic. Then he gave to his companions the following command: do not leave your lines. Stay at your places without moving anywhere. Do not start to fight unless I command. Do not waste your arrows until the enemy approaches close enough. When the enemy sheds their shields, shoot your arrows. When they are even closer, throw stones with your hands. Use your wet spears when they come near. And when they are at close quarters, fight by using your swords. Then sentinels were stationed, and the Ashabi Kiram was allowed to rest. By a hidden cause of Allah Ta'ala, they slept so deeply that they could not lift even their eyelids. When our Master, the Prophet, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, went to the awning made from date branches, Hadrat Abu Bakr and Sa'ad bin Mu'az drew their swords and kept guard at the gate of the awning. Our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam lifted his blessed arms and, in a great sorrow, started to entreat to Allah Ta'ala. O my Lord, if you perish this small community, then no worship will be done toward you on the earth. This sorrowful invocation continued until the morning. The blessed Islamic army had established its headquarters on a sandy land. For this reason, walking was difficult. Feet would sink into the sand. With the benevolence of Allah Ta'ala and the benediction of our Master Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's invocation, that night an increasingly heavier rain started. The creeks were flooded, the water cups were filled, the ground became hard, so much so that the feet would not sink into the sand. However, the polytheists were in mud and flood. After Fajr, our Master Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam awakened his companions for morning prayer. After he conducted the ritual prayer, he spoke about the virtues of holy war and martyrdom. He encouraged the Ashabi Kiram to combat. He said, verily, Allah Ta'ala orders what is true and real. He does not accept any deeds which were not done for the consent of Allah Ta'ala. Strive to fulfill our Rabb's order against which he promised his mercy and compassion, and by doing so, pass the test, because his promise is true. His word is correct, his punishment is vehement. You and I are bound to Allah Ta'ala, who is Hayy and Qayyum. We have taken refuge to him. We have clung to him. We have depended on him. Our last return is to him. May Allah Ta'ala forgive me and all Muslims. On the 17th of Ramadan Sharif, the sun of Friday rose. In a short time, the most ruthless, the most imbalanced, the most important, the greatest war of history would begin. On the one side, the Rafaqi Alam sallallahu alaihi wasallam and a handful of his glorious companions who did not, in the slightest, hesitate to sacrifice their lives. On the other side, there was a ferocious and excessive group of disbelievers that gathered to demolish Islam completely and to kill a prophet who was honored by becoming the darling of Allah Ta'ala. Unfortunately, among them, there were relatives of Rasulullah Ikram too. They had come to Badr to combat their beloved cousin. Our master, the Prophet, reviewed his army's array and repeated his instructions. Meanwhile, the Quraysh polytheists went out of their headquarters and began to flood the Badr valley. Most of them were covered with armor. In the great arrogance, they had attacked the Islamic army. When our master, Rasulullah saw this state of the polytheists, he went in his tent with Hadrat Abu Bakr. He stretched his hands forward and started entreating to Janab Haq, O my Rabb, now the Quraysh polytheists are coming with all their arrogance. They are challenging you. They are denying your prophet. O my Allah, I ask you to fulfill your promise of help and grant victory to me. O my Allah, if you wish the perishment of those few Muslims, then there will be no one worshipping you. We'll discuss more about the Badr War when we return again. Wa alaikum salam.